Why is it that the person who confuses you the most is the one you can't stop thinking about? You pray for peace, but you keep craving the one who keeps you in pieces. Why? Welcome back to another episode. I constantly think about this so much. Why do I want the one person who keeps leaving me in shambles, keeps making me feel distraught? Whenever I know that this person is not my soulmate, is not my partner, is not the one, is not the missing rib. And if this episode finds you in a season of heartbreak, holding on to a maybe, or fighting to let go of somebody that God already had told you to release, this is for you. This isn't just a relationship episode. This is a wake-up call, because confusion isn't love, and craving someone who confuses you, that's not chemistry, that's spiritual warfare. Confusion is not from God. 1 Corinthians 14:33, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. You keep replaying their mixed signals, overthinking every text, and trying to decode someone who isn't even being honest with you. Just because this person isn't meant for you doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you have to hate them and have ill will against them. You should forgive them, because having this anger in your heart is only slowing you down and not helping you move forward. He's not mysterious, he's just unavailable, and that's the truth. I have continually gone back to people who I know who are not the one for me, because I'm used to toxic. I am not used to what safety looks like, what safety feels like. And it's not until you take time to be by yourself and figure out why do I keep going back to these things that I know that are not meant for me. You know what you don't want, but you don't know what you do want. And what you don't want is this inconsistent game and hamster wheel that you keep spinning yourself on. But if it hurts this bad, why does it feel so addictive? And the answer to that is your brain is addicted to the chase, not the person. So you keep going back to this person, you keep going back to this object, to this thing, because it's reinforcing this behavior, it's reinforcing a pattern. And as you know, we like psychology here. It's reinforcement, it's intermittent reinforcement. So it's like a dog with a bone, you know? Reinforcement is a form of emotional manipulation. When someone is hot and cold, your brain starts chasing that next dopamine hit. You're wondering when they're going to be hot again. But then, oh, I got the cold version of them. Maybe next time they'll be like this. If you hear somebody say, oh, when we were good. So you're saying when you were good? What about, like, when is it bad? When is the good still there? Like, it shouldn't always be when we're good, when we were bad, like when we were on, when we were off. It shouldn't constantly be like a bad and good situation. It's not the same loop as a gambling or social media addiction. It's not love, it's a chemical craving. You are literally chasing a chemical craving that you are seeking from this person. And the first step into breaking this habit, going back to somebody that is not meant for you, is realizing that this is a chemical reinforcement for you. You don't actually want to be with this person. You just like the attention. It's not your fault that you are going back to this person. It's just you are chemically craving an addiction. And it's realizing that this person is not for you. Even though you know this person, you can know that this person is not for you and still keep going back to it, because you're like, no, I'm just going to keep doing this because it's just fun right now. But no, it's just causing you more damage right now, and it's going to take longer to undo this damage once you try to walk away. But what if the person you thought it was butterflies, but it was your nervous system warning you? I like to think about this a lot, because your body sends you signals. Why do you think you're not getting good sleep? Why do you think you're breaking out so much? Why do you think you feel bloated all the time? Like, your body is literally telling you. Why are you having panic attacks? Not just because you're drinking energy drinks before your workouts. No, this is literally your body giving you a forewarning, saying, hey, alert, alert, be alarmed. This isn't right. This is not for you. I literally physically was swollen in my last relationship, because my body knew that something was off. Like, something was not right. And it wasn't me. It was the relationship that was not right. And if they are bringing out the worst version of you, what are we doing? What the L are we doing? Like, actually, if this person is just bringing out the most toxic, vile parts of yourself that you want to leave in a box and never look at those. Like, there's certain behaviors about myself that I wish I could just never look at. But what if the person you're obsessing over was actually sent to delay you? You know, the devil can send blessings too, but God can send you blessings. I see a butterfly right now. It just flew past me. I got chills. That's crazy. Butterflies are like my code word with God, that I'm like on the right track. So that's really cool. And Cardinals. But yeah, like the devil can literally send you blessings too. And yes, it can be wrapped up in a very tall, nice package, like a very tall, tan, 6'3" brunette who freaking plays baseball for, I don't know, whatever you're thinking. Like, just because they're attractive and just because on paper they look good and it feels good in the moment doesn't mean it's good for you. Doesn't mean it's going to benefit you in the future. And the way I like to look at everything is this going to benefit me in the future? And I try my best to live in accordance with that. Sometimes, we are human, we make mistakes, we fall, we get back up. But the butterflies that you are getting from this person, what if they're actually your nervous system warning you? What if this person you're obsessing over is actually delaying you from what God already has in store for you? I was going through this a few weeks ago, actually, like just spiritual turmoil, because I was like, God, is this person for me? Like what? And then literally, snap of a finger, he removed them. I prayed the removal prayer for weeks, and I was like, okay, so this person is meant to be in my life because you haven't removed them just yet. But no, he was sending me signals like that I just kept ignoring. I was like, okay, maybe this person is actually right for me. Like maybe it'll work out. But there was so many moments of confusion and doubt and hesitation on my part. I was like, should I proceed with this? Like it feels right, but also like, am I the one leading? Like, is Christ the one lead? Like, because I have never really been in a spiritual relationship. Like most of the people I've dated were just like, they were not very spiritual. I would go to church by myself, or I would do X, Y, and Z I'd pray by myself, and just like, or I wasn't even in tune with the Lord because like, you are who you surround yourself with. And me and this person, like we would pray together, we would like talk about God, and like I've never experienced that. And I was like, this is what I have always wanted. This is what I've always hoped and dreamed of. Because, you want to be with somebody who's equally yoked as you, and like not freaking equally yoked, jacked. We're talking about like, in the Bible, you want to be with somebody who has the same beliefs as you, has the same morals, can keep you grounded. Because if not, you're already just setting yourself up for a harder life. Not impossible, not for failure, but a much harder life that could be avoided if you just, in a sense, stayed in your lane. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way, but know what what works for you, what doesn't. And if you don't, then figure it out and take some time to yourself and really look around and realize like being in a relationship isn't all that, because a lot of the people in these relationships don't even know what they want, and they're just in a relationship because they just want to fill a hole that's empty. And that's hard. That's heartbreaking, honestly. And I was once in that point, so I feel for them. But something else, it wasn't love, it was a soul tie disguised as connection. And in scripture, Genesis 2:24, the two shall become one flesh. When we give someone access to our body, we open the door to the spirit too. But you're creating a connection that is very hard to be broken. Soul ties can keep you stuck. Physically gone, but spiritually tied. You can be physically thousands and thousands of miles away from this person, but still spiritually tied. And you're asking God for peace while holding hands with the one who wrecked it. That is something that, just think about that. You're asking God for peace while holding hands with the one who wrecked it. What's wrecking your peace right now? If you are holding on to somebody who is not for you and you know that, it's time to break the cycle and break free from these chains of this person that is holding you back, that is delaying you. What if this person was sent to you to delay you, not to fulfill you? Because the only one who can fulfill you is Jesus Christ himself. And spiritual delay isn't because God's silent, but because you're connected to what he told you to walk away from. And sometimes God's voice is quiet and the outside voices are loud, very loud, and it's hard to hear him. It's hard to feel connected if you are idolizing somebody else other than him. If you are looking at somebody else, putting them on a pedestal, seeing them as your number one instead of God, it can get really loud. It can get really distracting, and you can start your vision can start to become hazed, and you stop asking God for help, and then you slowly start isolating yourself. And that's exactly how it starts. You just become isolated, and then you don't feel God. You don't hear him anymore because you get so invested in somebody that you are in a cycle of addiction. You are in a cycle of intermittent reinforcement that you can't break on your own. Clarity feels boring when you've been addicted to chaos. A lot of my relationships, most of the relationships I've been in 4 relationships. 3 out of the 4, they were toxic. I was addicted to toxic people because that's what I was used to. Clarity feels boring when you've been addicted to chaos. Don't confuse clarity with chaos because they can become confusing. And clarity feels boring. Chaos feels exhilarating, addictive, because one minute they're good, the next minute you're bad again. 1 minute they're hot, the next minute they're cold. And you start to lose sight of who you are, and you start to base your self-worth off of the person who is giving you this hot and cold energy, because you're like, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? No, baby, there's nothing wrong with you. You were never being too much. They were just not enough for you. And that's okay. Go let them be enough for somebody else. Go let them do whatever they want with somebody else. But you don't deserve this. You deserve better than this, and you know that. You watching this video shows me that you know that, but you don't understand how to get out of it, don't understand how to break free from it. So this is what we're talking about today. If God doesn't want, it wasn't manifested from God to you. If God ordained this, it would be easy. It would feel like water. You would be able to get through this so easily. But the fact that you are continually questioning it, feeling these physical reactions to it, and you're still going back to it, signifies to me that this is a toxic cycle that you are struggling to break free from. And there's no judgment here, because listen, homegirl was an addict at one point. I went back to the same people over and over and over again until they finally broke me so much that I had no choice but to walk away. Because at that point I'm like, okay, you know what? Yes, I still have some bit of self-worth at the end of the day. And it wasn't much, but that was the sliver of self-worth that I had left that I would not give up for anybody else. And luckily I did have that. And I had God still pushing in my ear very, very, very quietly, saying, you can do this, you can walk away, you're strong enough. And I leaned on that whenever I did, because yes, it was one of the hardest things, because it feels like sometimes, depending on how far in you are into something, it can feel like you're losing a limb, because in a sense you're losing a spiritual limb, a spiritual ailment. It's like you're letting go of this disease that you had. And I might be sounding dramatic right now. You might be like, Elle, what the L are you on? And you know what I'm on is the truth. And he's the way, the truth, and the life. And he got me out of the darkness and into the light, and reminds me every day that I'm founded in him. My worth is founded in him, and no person alone. And people all the time are like, why are your standards so high? Because literally Jesus Christ bled for me and for you, so that you have the free will to do what you please. And you can choose to please him, or you can choose to please the world. Which one do you pick? Because at the end of the day, you can cash all this money, you can have all this cash on the earth, but heaven does not take cash. And I want my soulmate to help me get to heaven. I don't want to be the reason that they go down. I want to be the reason that they are lifted up. And I want to continually help others do that for themselves. And if this gets one view, and I know I helped a person, then I did what I was supposed to do. And people ask me, why do you still do this podcast if you get however many views you get, a small number? Because that small number, I know that somebody's life is being touched. I know that somebody's being helped. Why do I take the time out on my only 2 off days where I'm slinging beach chairs 5 days a week? Because I know this is what God wants me to do. Because there's nothing more certain in my life that I know that I'm being called to do right now. And that's continually recording this, showing up. Even in my darkest relationship, I still showed up here. I still did what I was meant to do. Even if it looked a little bit different, even probably not as wise as I am now. But you know what? I needed that to get me to where I am today. Because if I didn't have those experiences, I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what I'm able to tell you today. So we don't crave calm. We crave the chemical high of someone who makes us feel something, even if it's pain. So I know you're feeling lost in pain right now. I know you're confusing this pain for some type of feeling that you don't think you can get anywhere else. Trust me, you can. Trust me, there's better out there for you. There's somebody out there who will take care of you and heal you and pray for you and do good things for you. But until then, you need to do that for yourself, and you can't expect this person who you know who's not right for you to fix you. Because we need to take off our Bob the Building construction hats and realize that we have to be the ones Bob the Building ourselves alongside with Jesus, okay? You can't Bob the build somebody else. You can't try to fix somebody else. That's never going to work. And relationship based on that is already doomed. The construction site has left the chat, okay? And healthy loves feel stable, not stimulating. So if you constantly feel like your addictive emotions or emotions are fleeting, but commitment is everlasting. Endurance is what wins the race. And if you are enduring so much pain right now, and it's this early on in the relationship, or you're not even dating and you're going through all of this turmoil, just nip it in the bud right now before it gets too far. Like I promise you. You're mistaking peace for a lack of passion, but passion without purpose is just noise. It's just a distraction. So how do you finally break free How do you finally break the craving and find the clarity? The person God has for you will not confuse you. And these are practical ways that you can do this. Cut the access. Unfollow, block, detach, let go, move on. It's as simple as that. And it may not be simple right now. It may take everything in you to do that. But you have to, out of sight, out of mind this. If you stop seeing them, these feelings are going to subside. And and life is going to go on, and you're going to heal, and you're going to look back and be like, I cannot believe that I was as down bad for this person who I knew was not right for me from the beginning. From the beginning, you knew that they were not right for you, but you still chose to see it through because you're like, I can change this person, or I can manipulate the situation, or I can play God, or God can have these good parts of my life, but I'll take my relationships. I'll deal with that and see how it goes. But you continually see how it goes, and it's not going well. What the hell are you doing? Walk away. Number 2, pray specifically for soul tie breaking. Lord, I break every ungodly soul tie in Jesus' name. Simple as that. Pray this prayer as many times as you need, and know that God's got your back. Number 3, replace craving with calling. Get obsessed with your purpose, not their potential. Right on the money. And number 4, stay in the word, not in the group chat. As you should counsel with your friends and seek wise counsel, seek wise advice, ask your family and friends. But also, the most important friend you'll ever have is with you always, Jesus. Talk to him, pray to him, read the word. In closing, you don't need another sign. You need to surrender. God will never give you peace about someone he's never sent. You're not too much. You're not crazy. You were just never meant to stay when there's confusion. And today you're choosing clarity over chaos, and I commend you for that. I'm so proud of you. I forgot to introduce myself. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of What the L podcast. I post new episodes every Friday. And with that, I will see you next time. Okay. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.